What is going on, everybody? Longhorns got a huge win in Stillwater this weekend. And let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about what we saw. Joseph Osai with one of the best defensive performances in a long time for Longhorn. You talk about a guy who just continues to come every play. The effort's there. The skill is there. He's been really close all season. We play in the Big 12. The ball comes out of quarterback's hands very fast. Joseph Osai at Oklahoma State, he put it all together. It was great. It was a phenomenal performance. He was elite off the edge, elite in the run game, elite in the pass game. And then we saw the heroic chase down of the quarterback there in overtime to finish the game on fourth down. Awesome for him. I think he is the sky's the limit for him as a player. A guy who he's a technician. He's not just a good athlete. His work ethic is there. He's somebody who uses his hands well. He's constantly looking for strips when he is getting to the quarterback or when he gets close. This is a guy who we're seeing somebody who's going to start flying up NFL draft boards, especially as the scouting combine comes around. I think from what we see, this is somebody who is going to test well. I think he's going to have a really good 40 time. I'm excited. I love what I'm seeing from Joseph Osai. He makes our whole team better, makes our defense better, and we're going to need him big time as the season continues here. We try to make a run for the Big 12. Saw another game where it's kind of you throw the first 3.5 quarters out the window. When it's crunch time and the game's on the line, Sam Ehlinger is going to be a guy that's going to go get it for you, and he did it again on Saturday against Oklahoma State. Like we feared, we didn't match up well. They had really good man coverage the whole game. They were able to get a little bit of a pass rush. I think we did a better job pass blocking than I expected, but overall another sloppy game from our offense. Very inconsistent running the ball, but we did have a little more explosive plays in the run game. BJ Robinson hit a 20-yarder. Roschon Johnson had a 20-yarder. We saw some life, some glimpses. We saw him get back to pounding the football against Baylor, and I think we're seeing a team who's going in the right direction as far as the run game goes. We just need to keep getting a little better. I think we need to stop taking Bijan Robinson out of the game. I know we have running backs who've earned the playing time, but we need to feed number 5. He's, I think, far and away our best running back. He's the best athlete of the running backs. Let the young man eat. It's time. He's played enough now. He's not a young pup anymore. He's got plenty of game experience. It's time to really unleash him and see what he can do going forward. There was a part of me after the win that kind of wanted to say, like, pump the brakes on the whole fire Tom Herman thing. But the more I sat and thought about it, and the more I processed the game, obviously I was excited that we got a win, a huge upset. This is a great win for our team. We are definitely still in the hunt for the Big 12. There are still things about this team that you look at that are coaching problems. You look at the rotation we have at running back, doesn't make any sense. You look at how we use our tight ends, doesn't make any sense. Jared Wiley seems to be a big play explosive guy, but they're designing plays to get Cade Brewer out in the flats on a weird little play action, motion, play action to the left, and then you get everybody moving and you get the play action going to the right. The offense knew coming in Oklahoma State was going to run a lot of man coverage. We needed to have, more plays, more something, more scheme designed to beat man coverage. We saw, some crossing routes here and there. We needed to find something that worked. The offensive staff didn't. They, for the most part, failed to find something that worked. Joshua Moore was targeted a couple times, but he didn't catch a pass till overtime, and it was from the slot when he did finally catch a pass. We have to come in with a better plan in order to, be effective against what we know the other team is going to run. And then if the plan doesn't work, we have to be able to make adjustments on the fly. And we're not proving to be able to do either of those things on offense, honestly. And then when you look on the defensive side, we continue to see offenses are just throwing up little fade balls, 30 yards down the field, because they know our DBs are going to run in and grab the wide receiver, and they're not going to turn their head. They're not being coached to do anything different, and they're going to get flagged. We're getting pass interferences. It was pathetic how many pass interferences we had. Somebody has to teach these guys. We've seen this multiple times throughout the season. Somebody has to teach these DBs turn your head, find the football, and you're not going to get a PI called. There are definitely some things on this team right now that you can look at, that you can credit the staff for making progress. Our run game is looking like it's starting to finally make some progress. Our run defense was lights out against Oklahoma State. Absolutely shut down one of the best running backs in the nation. And then when you look around the roster, there are a couple guys that stand out as true star players. You know, guys who, you know, have very high first round draft pick potential. You know, guys who you could say, you know, have been developed by this coaching staff. But in year 4 of Tom Herman, I don't think there's enough progress or enough star players to really warrant any credit in that area. It hasn't always been pretty this year, that's for sure, but the Longhorns, you know, still at this moment in time, the Big 12 championship is still in reach. The current standings in the Big 12, the Longhorns still play 3 of the top 4 teams. They still have those games left on their schedule. The other in the top 4 would be Oklahoma State, which we just beat. The Longhorns, if they were to win all those matchups, would, and then if Oklahoma State were to win out, they would play Oklahoma State again in the Big 12 championship, which would be awesome. I know a lot of people right now are kind of in favor of, in order for Tom Herman to buy another year here at Texas, he needs to win out and win the Big 12. That is still a very realistic goal for this Longhorn team. That is making progress, right? We're seeing it every week. It's getting better. We just beat, you know, arguably the best team in our conference. We do still have some big games left. We play West Virginia this weekend. West Virginia is coming off a really good win at Kansas State. West Virginia's defense looked very opportunistic versus K-State. There were a couple inaccurate thrown balls, and then there was another interception that was taken back for a touchdown. West Virginia looks like a team that plays with a lot of effort, and so if you make mistakes and you give them an opportunity, they're going to take advantage of it. We're going to need to play clean, going to need to play well. Hopefully we can ride some of the confidence we just picked up with the upset. We are back at home this week, so hopefully we can put on a show. And then we have a bye week, and then it's going to be 3 weeks to, you know, kind of finish out the season. So, you know, like we said, the Big 12 is still here, it's still in reach, and I hope the Longhorns can, you know, continue taking steps in the right direction. And man, it would be awesome, with as ugly as this season started, to end up in the Big 12 championship game. It would that would be a lot of fun. All right, y'all, that's it for me today. I appreciate y'all checking out the video, checking out the channel. Y'all wouldn't mind, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe. I'm covering the Longhorns every week. Let's hope for a good win versus West Virginia. All right, hook 'em.